Thank you for listening. This is the Jake and Josh podcast. I am Jake.
And I am Josh.
And Josh, this I think is episode 20 of the podcast. Yeah.
Crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, it's either 20 or 21. We're usually off by one, as we've talked about, but I think
We're like a good political poll. Like, there's a margin of error.
But I believe that this is episode 20.
Let's start today's episode with, I'm going to explain this thing I do sometimes in my brain.
Masturbate. Well, in your brain.
Yeah, in my brain is imagine myself masturbating, but then I masturbate to the imaginary scenario of me masturbating. I'm that conceited. Okay, so sometimes I try to set up like these weird hypothetical scientific experiments that in reality could never happen because once they find...
And would never happen.
Yeah, because I'm not a scientarist or whatever.
A Scientologist.
Scientology. Yeah, I don't study Scientology.
Okay.
Hold on. We'll do the soundboard now.
There we go.
That was a good one. That felt great.
Get a nice soundboard in there to start.
But anyways, once people found out the outcome of these experiments that I want to do, they'd be like, no, that's offensive. And then it could never happen. Let me give you like
if we could do an experiment to see, like if we could, run the genomes to see if it is a hereditary thing of why black people are inherently more athletic.
Yes.
Whether it has to do with like them being slaves or not.
That's my we
talked about this like in one of the first episodes.
Ago.
I think it was the first episode we talked about whether or not black people are more athletic because they were like bred to be better performing workers in the fields.
Okay, I'm eventually going to get to the experiment that I want to talk about in the intro of this episode, but I have been thinking more and more recently about how much we should really start to revisit the idea of human eugenics.
Okay.
Like, literally just, if you see a short person, don't let him procreate. If you see a person with stumpy digits, don't let him procreate. If you see a person
in a trailer, don't let him procreate.
I mean, anything. Like, if you see... Okay, think about how you would like humans to be 500 years from now. Tall, healthy, strong. I was getting there. Well hung. Then don't let people procreate that are contrary to those...
I'm a huge proponent of limiting who is allowed to reproduce. There should be some sort of test that you have to pass to be able to procreate.
Oh, yeah, like a procreation license?
Yeah. A license to procreate.
I don't like that. Yeah, I do. But
wait. In reference to your semen, a license to spill.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh my god.
There we go.
There was a court case in 1910. It made it all the way to the Supreme Court. It was called Buck v. Bell.
Okay. Yeah.
And the finding was, or the judgment, the verdict?
The verdict.
It wasn't really like a guilty or not guilty thing. Or maybe it was, but that doesn't matter about the case. It was the Supreme Court of the United States decided that in favor of the sterilization of mentally incompetent people.
Right.
And the quote from the pro opinion was 3 generations of imbeciles is enough. And yeah, that's real. That happened in American history.
Yeah.
But at the time, no one gave a shit because at the time, news spread slowly, so you had to wait 2 years for...
You had to wait for them to finish, processing the paper to get put on the paper for the actual newspaper the next day.
They were still putting everything on etching it into tablets.
They still had a small boy wearing a weird hat selling you papers.
Oh, was it a bowler hat?
Something like that. Extra, read all about it. Retards can't have sex.
They didn't even say that. And, okay, what mentally incompetent, I want to find out what that legal definition was at the time. But anyways, what I wanted to get to was we should revisit Buck v. Bell. And not mentally incompetent, physically incompetent. If you have a weak immune system...
Emotionally incompetent.
I feel like that could be fixed. I'm tearing up. Maybe I'm who you're talking about.
They also said that you can pray the gay away, so I don't know.
Can you pray it back? Okay, I've always...
Can you gay the prey away?
Okay, the experiment I wanted to do... that started this whole thing is I'm really okay, I want to set up a controlled environment where myself and a average Mexican male do the same amount of push-ups, the same number of times, for the same number of days.
Okay.
My theory is his pecs will be 3 times as big as mine.
So you want to work out with a Mexican? That's really just...
Yeah, that's very anti-Trump, isn't it? But my theory is because there's
He'd be better to build that wall with.
What do you yeah. He'd be like lead constructioneer.
Lead Imaginarian.
Is that a real job title?
No, like the Imagineers at Disney World.
Oh, okay. I thought you... Never mind. I thought it was a reference to the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, but that's a very obscure reference. But anyways, my thought is an average Mexican male is about, what, 5'2"? Or, sorry, cinco dos?
I would say 5'4" with their boots on.
Okay. And all their kids in their boots.
5'8" with the sombrero.
No sombrero.
Okay.
But anyways, the point is they're really short and their arms are short. And so when they do push-ups, they don't have to go up that high. Like a Mexican push-up is like a foot. A push-pop is about the same length as a Mexican push-up. Whereas me, I think my arms, how long are my arms? 3-ish? Almost 3 feet?
Almost as long as my wiener.
So a Mexican push-up. But anyways,
a Mexican push-pop.
I have to go up so high for push-ups.
Yeah, your chest has to get, to get all the way up, your chest is about 2 feet off the ground.
I mean, realistically, yeah, it's about there. And so my theory is I want to do this experiment just to prove that Mexicans are more apt to have better pecs.
Well, this is also, it's a compounding effect, too. As your pecs and, biceps get larger, your trip down gets shorter.
Whoa.
That's how, that's why bodybuilders, what are you doing here?
I felt like that was fitting. Okay. Shut up. Okay.
That way you see these guys that are, bench pressing, 700 pounds for world records. Their chests are, I'm putting my hands above my chest to indicate that their chests are huge. But when they're doing these, world record push-ups, they're only, or bench presses, their bars only going down 6 inches, and then they're coming back up because of the way how big their chest and arms are.
For some reason, it makes me think of Larry Allen when he was doing the Pro Bowl Skills Challenge.
Yeah.
I'd be like, he's not even pushing the bar anywhere. He's just breathing with it on his chest. But yeah, it makes sense now. Yeah. So let's go ahead. We're going to pause a moment for station identification, and then we'll be back.
Yeah, play some music.
Coming at you live from the second floor of Trump Tower in New York. It's the only thing better than the accuracy of a drone strike. Convoluted and comical. It's the Jake and Josh Podcast.
Welcome back. You will notice that there was no commercial there. We are commercial free.
Yeah, this is it's like a sneak peek at what being a premium member must look like or feel like.
Yeah, one of these days when we're super famous, there might be a premium commercial-free version.
Yeah, this is freemium right now. It's free premium. I do want to acknowledge one... okay, we just said no commercials and we're going to fucking plug ourselves. We do have... we
didn't say ad-free, we said commercial-free.
It's different. We do have jakeandjoshpodcast.com now. It is a fully functioning website where, and I sometimes worry it may confuse some of our listeners. We do have 2 formatted shows. So there's the one now, which is hilarious and super fun to listen to, and your friends should probably listen to it too.
Yeah. And then we have one for the Indianapolis Colts, who we are big fans of, which is also hilarious and
your friends would love it.
Even if they're not Colts fans.
You know where I need to start advertising the Colts podcast more? St. Louis.
Here's what you'll never have.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're a reasonable drive away from Indy. It's
well, I mean, a lot of Colts fans, because we don't a lot of Colts fans who also like baseball, they're Cardinals fans. So, yeah. I mean, they're a close city. a professional baseball team. We have our own little minor league team.
Yeah,
but,
the Indians, which they feed the Pittsburgh Pirates somehow.
yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, never figured that one
They
out.
should feed like the Reds or something. But yeah,
Be closer.
But it would be cool. Yeah, we could blow up in St. Louis.
Yeah, check out the website. I have Google Analytics hooked up to it, so if you check out the website, I'll know you fucking checked out the website.
We'll know who you are, where you live, your email address.
It breaks down demographics. It's like
We'll know if you're black or white.
So allowed on the website or not allowed on JK. We don't segregate the website.
But there is a different website for black people.
There is.
Yeah, it's the Black
People
Twitter
Meet
subreddit.
Oh, god damn it. I always thought Black People Meet should be called Black People and eHarmony.com. So
Bone Thugs and eHarmony.com.
wait, what'd I say?
You said black people and
I meant Bone Thugs. God
Bone
dang
Thugs
it.
and eHarmony.com.
I wonder how many times they do that every day. Like, Bone Thugs shouldn't be allowed to vote. But I meant black people. God dang it.
We're not against rappers, but we are against those thugs.
So we don't have like an overall theme for today's episode, but I have a
We
few...
never have a theme.
No, one time we did.
At one point we did.
Yeah.
Like last episode, we interviewed Jack
July. It's weird because that episode, we're recording this, and that episode hasn't aired yet, but by the time you will have had...
By the time you will have had listened to this episode, that episode will have had already been listened to as well.
And if you follow that, then this next song is for you. I just want to work in Careless Whisper like once an episode.
Stop.
Okay, fine. So the first thing I want to talk about today...
Well, this will be the second thing.
Other than Mex-Pex, I'm now calling it.
Pex-Mex.
So scientists recently found that Ebola can be present in... Did I say president?
Present.
Okay, I passed out for a second in my brain.
My brain stopped. My brain had Ebola.
My brain buffered. Ebola can be present... Fuck, did I do it again?
No, you're saying it right.
Say it.
Present.
Ebola can be present...
Ebola can be president...
in semen 565 days after the initial infection.
565 days?
Yes.
Why didn't they just let it go for the full year?
I mean, maybe they found that out today, and like tomorrow they'll break the news that it can be present for 566 days. And then like they'll be like, okay, it just stays. You'll never get Ebola out of your balls.
Ebola is actually AIDS, we found out.
Surprise. So all those ice buckets in your head were for nothing.
The ice buckets were for ALS, not Ebola. Ebola was only bad for like a week.
Did they happen at the same time, though?
Roughly. Like, everyone was like, oh, God, somebody has Ebola in Texas, but, like, literally one person died and everybody else was okay.
I do this thing, though, where I group things that society freaks out about within a 4-month period together. Like, I think Harambe won't stand up for the national anthem. It just happened so close in my brain.
Like, what happened with Colin Kaepernick in Ferguson, Missouri?
That could be a longer time. Like, you're lumping a year together. Like, why did Harambe shoot Trayvon? I don't know. You know what's sad, though? If Harambe would have shot Trayvon, we'd be on Harambe's side.
Dicks out.
Black people have dicks out. They wouldn't
Do you know the phrase dicks out is referring to guns? Like apparently, like, dicks is... Instead, like, it means
a gun
guns.
is phallic shaped.
Yeah. So what they really mean is guns out for Harambe, but they're saying it dicks out for Harambe.
I like dicks out and like
I really want to. I like the imagery of dicks out.
I mean, sometimes there's things that people just say though, and they don't actually know the meaning, and so I hope no one knows dicks out means guns out. Kind of like when you.
I know it because I listened to Young Thug and he said that. Like, he says, I got my dicks out.
We made it almost 14 minutes without you fucking talking about rap.
We did already talk about Bone Thugs and Harmony, so.
I said black people. Okay. Sorry. That was dumb. But another example of some people not knowing what the thing they're saying or doing is actually in reference to. Do you remember when planking was big?
Yeah.
Do you know what planking is from?
No.
The slave trade. It's the best way to pack bodies in the boat. I just couldn't imagine. Can you imagine the viral pictures that would have been up of black people planking on top of black people planking?
Make people plank again. Make planking great again.
Plank Lives Matter.
I like it.
Do you think Harambe ever plank? Okay.
Planks out for Harambe.
But planks means penises. Okay. But anyway, so Ebola, back to this. Jesus. It is so comedically.
Comedically?
Did I say president again? Just. It's so comedically fun for me to like start a topic, get way off, and then bring it back home.
It's my favorite. I love it. I think that's my favorite part about our show.
Probably. But I can't help but wonder, like, what if there's like one sexually responsible adult male out there who did have Ebola, and like some chick's about to sleep with him. He's like, I can't. She's like, why? He's like, I had Ebola. She's like, is it contagious? And he goes, I don't know, but it was like last March.
I don't know, but it's still in there.
Man.
Could you imagine if Ebola was sexually transmissible?
Wait, transmittable or transmissible?
Both, I guess. Transmissible.
If
it's sexually transmitted, it means it was a transmissible disease.
That is interesting. Wow. We can't rule out that it's not yet.
I guess let some dude just let him bang it out with Magic Johnson. He's got the money for a cure.
What are the symptoms?
What if Ebola is the cure for AIDS?
Dude, no. Okay. I posted forever ago. What if... Oh, wait, no, it was a little bit different. I tried to, I came up with this weird scenario of, what if something fucked up cured something fucked up? Like, what if rape was the cure to cancer?
What if marijuana cured cancer?
No, what if rape was the cure to cancer? It'd be ironic, one, because anyone that wanted the cure are then DTF by definition.
Rape whistles would be completely different.
Well, wait. They'd be calling for rape.
Exactly. It'd be like a mating call.
It'd be like a dog whistle, except creeps could hear it.
A dong whistle.
Oh, my fuck. Jesus.
We made it 16 minutes without you talking about a dick.
Wait, can we name this episode Dong Whistle? I don't hate that.
I like it.
I'm going to make a note of that. That's a possibility.
Dong whistle.
Jake, while I write this down, please talk. Or say fish over and over.
Dong whistle or Pex-Mex. I like Pex-Mex too.
It was Mex-Pex.
I liked Pex-Mex better because it sounds more closer to the food. Like Tex-Mex style of food.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And actually, let's talk about this topic next because it has to do with things.
It's a noun.
In my head, it connected. So I heard this interesting theory recently about why... And it's going to sound really generic until we get into it, I swear to God. Why people just get bent out of shape over stuff that has nothing to do with them.
Why people or white people?
Did I say president? Oh, my God. Okay, we'll just name this episode, Did I Say President Again? Because that's like the recurring thing now.
Did I say Pex-Mex again?
You just said Pex-Mexican. I know you meant Pex-Mex again.
Yeah.
But you said Pex-Mexican.
Pex-Mexico.
We'll Google it later. I bet there's like a Pex town in okay.
It's probably in like Guadalajara or some shit.
So this theory I heard about why people get bent out of shape over stuff that has nothing to do with them is very interesting because, according to them, are you rooting your phone?
No, there's a system update.
Oh, man. I was like, that looks cool. And hashtag multitasking.
If anyone wants to buy a phone.
Yeah. Humans do not have natural... fear?
Predators?
Predators? Yeah. I mean, we haven't had natural predators.
Aside from The Predator.
Yeah.
And Jared Fogle.
Okay, maybe it's a combination of things. It's one, the internet, and two, not having non-human predators.
Well, being at the top of the food chain is really what it is. Like we're
even beyond that. Like we're
whole
food chains.
We're
Whole Foods.
We're out of
chains.
Whole Foods, give us money. We're out of the food chain. Like we got out of it.
Yeah, we are seriously.
Like the only way we end up in a food chain is because we fucked up and like decided that. Oh, I thought that was a black bear, not a grizzly bear.
That's interesting.
Because black bears are the ones you're supposed to stand up to. Grizzly bears are the ones you're supposed
to
play dead or like get
run
the fuck away from. Shoot it in the face with a shotgun.
So
your dick out.
even animals that do kill humans on occasion, like I think sharks would be the one most people could.
But very rare, like very few people die from shark attacks.
Humans eat more sharks probably per day than sharks eat humans per year.
Shark fin soup is a thing.
Yeah. Is a swordfish a shark?
No.
Then I've never had shark. Never mind. But I had a shitload of swordfish, and I'm sure
when in Good Burger, when Mondo Burger, they were trying to poison Ed's sauce with shark poison.
Yeah.
I'm like watching that movie now as an adult, I'm like, they went straight to fucking like genocide to get put Good Burger out of business. Like, if that poison's strong enough to kill a shark, what's it gonna do to somebody who just wanted a good burger?
They should have just used Ebola semen.
Bull semen.
Less than 565 days old. But no, like, okay. So anyway, we're out of the
sharks.
food chain. We're completely out. When you don't have something that you can fear on a regular basis, you have to find something to emotionally cause turmoil, or is
Muslims.
Tumult? Is that
tumultuous?
A word? Tumultuous.
Yeah, that's the right word.
It just sounds weird.
It gives you tumultuity.
So and yeah, to like illustrate the point all the way, think of the hypothetical scenario of what if, and this one's gonna be tough, and then we'll work it through time.
What if God was one of us?
Just on a bus. Okay. That's the only other line I know. Thank you for that wonderful song, Jewel, or whoever.
It's probably like Sarah McLachlan or something like that.
Maybe. I thought Jewel or Faith Hill.
No, Faith Hill used to sing the Sunday Night Football song.
What do you mean, used to?
She doesn't.
Oh, now it's Carrie Underwood. I forgot. So what if we had internet in the time of cave people, when everything was a natural predator? Not everything. Huh?
What?
Was it great?
It felt great.
Nice. You need to put the mic up to your butt just for one fart.
We need butt mics.
Just a little wireless lavalier.
A what?
Lavalier?
You can say you can't say present, but you can say lavalier.
Yeah, I fucking screw you. It's because I work in an event venue and we have lavaliers.
And also fancy words like concierge.
Shit. Okay, so if we had internet...
if cavemen had internet...
But the issue there is, obviously, they don't have... I mean, they had a language.
Do these cavemen have 4G?
Is 4G LTE?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cavemen with 4G LTE.
Yes.
And Google Fiber.
In certain markets. But like...
Only on the West Coast.
Hold on, you're getting worried about their connectivity issues. I'm more so saying... I mean, their keyboard would be like 3 buttons.
Just because I'm going to be pissed if they have better internet speeds than I do.
Their keyboard's going to be 3 buttons. It'll be like a buffalo, an arrow, and a rock. But anyways...
A mastodon.
They would not have time to get upset about proper fire maintenance practices.
Well, they wouldn't be getting upset about trans cavemen and trans cave women peeing in the right
gender-neutral caves. Jeez.
General neutral bath caves.
They had everything was gender neutral. The clothing, the eyebrows.
Everyone wore a tunic.
Never trust a man in a tunic. I learned that from Danny McBride. Have you seen Land of the Lost? Oh, dude, it's so funny. I'm gonna spoiler alert this one. He starts the movie.
We haven't spoiler alerted a movie in a while.
So
spoiler alert for a 6-year-old movie.
Well, we normally just say it real quick before they can turn it off. But Danny McBride is like a tour guide for this cave river thing in like regular time. And he makes some quip about never trust a man in a tunic. He's lived by that his whole life. And then they go back in time or sideways in time, I don't fucking know. And they find this lizard wearing a tunic, and Danny McBride is like hesitant, but Will Ferrell and the other girl are like trusting him. And at the end, it turns out he backstabbed him. He's like, I told you never trust a man in a tunic.
Is this the movie where Dwayne The Rock Johnson rides a giant bumblebee?
No, what the fuck? Is that B-movie?
B-movie 2.
Oh my.
2B, Too Furious.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, the button doesn't work. That's how bad you failed. Jesus. Okay. No. I'm. Part of me is curious what movie you're referring to. The other part of me wants to kill myself right now.
I have rope.
As long as you promise to publish this podcast, that'll get a ton of listens.
First, I'll have to figure out how to work Audacity.
It's the easiest.
All right, I'll be fine then. Go ahead, do it.
You don't really have rope.
You're not really gonna kill yourself.
I mean, I might, just not today. Is it weird that I have a suicide song picked out?
Rape Me by Nirvana?
No, suicide, not... Okay. But is that a weird practice, you think?
To have a suicide song?
Yeah. Like, if I ever... Okay, if I ever kill myself, and I will never, but if I ever, it'll be to the song Look On Down From the Bridge by Mazzy Star, the song that played on Rick and Morty when they had to bury their own bodies.
No, you gotta play the Moon Men song.
No, not... I hated Fart.
Hated the fart.
Was that an original song?
I don't know.
It sounded David Bowie-esque big time.
Yeah, the dude who did the voice for the fart was Jermaine Clement.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, Jermaine Clement. He was in Flight of the Conchords.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. My suicide song is going to be Chris Benoit's theme music.
Oh. Considering how many concussions he probably had that led to that tumultuous night where he killed his family and then himself, his theme music was probably his suicide song. I hate being fucked up about it, but like, okay, out of all the celebrities and like famous people that ever killed themselves or had horrific things happen in their lives, why is Chris Benoit the funniest to still joke about? We don't talk about that Kansas City linebacker that like drove to the stadium.
Because no one knows who Joe Van Belcher was.
Jesus, you remember the name?
Yeah.
Nobody talks
no one but me remembers his name.
No one talks about Steve McNair getting killed by his girlfriend.
Oh, I referenced that a couple episodes ago.
Maybe that's why it's fresh in my mind. Could you imagine though getting that phone call and it's like the police are like, your husband's dead, and she'd be like, who shot him?
His girlfriend.
Surprise!
Denise. I knew that bitch was playing.
Oh my god, she is fucking crazy. But anyway, shit.
I feel like Steve McNair should have been tough enough to just walk that off, though.
Don't ask how I know this, but I know that Steve McNair's penis flaccid was over 8 inches, and this is like before the time of social media.
Is that what they call him, Air McNair, because he had that much hang time?
Oh, damn, that was good. Damn. Okay, you get 2 sounds. Make it 3.
Don't play Final Countdown.
Okay. But I want to play Final Countdown.
I fucking hate Final Countdown.
I just had a better Final Countdown, so at the end of this episode, it's going down. It's going countdown.
We're counting down.
We're counting down to the end of the episode when we can play Final Countdown. Okay. Fuck.
Start the countdown.
Are we done with the topic?
No, we were talking about...
Because I feel like we're 15% through it.
Well, we never really... Like, we've been getting off topic.
Okay, so if cavemen... Jesus.
Cavemen had internet.
Yeah. I feel like they would have enough environmental pressures,
They'd have enough shit to worry about.
Yeah, nothing. They won't get bent out of shape over nothing. But again, the issue is they wouldn't have... I mean, they didn't have like a very elaborate language. So you can even take it through time. Like when the bubonic plague was going across Europe.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the better example. So let's say internet's a thing and people can post. And at that point, we have enough English and Latin going around to where there's a language. There's several. But there's this huge fucking thing everyone's worried about. And so if something else crazy would have happened, like, and I don't know my history, but like, let's say I think Spanish Inquisition happened close to...
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. They would have expected it if they had the internet, though.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, did it happen around the time of the plague?
I think it was roughly around that time.
Let's pretend that it did. People would be less apt to get on Facebook and Twitter and bitch about the things Spain was doing.
See, I disagree. I feel like even back to caveman times, I feel like we would still have the same like ignorant racist shit that gets posted on the internet. I feel like
there was only one race. The right one. Just kidding.
Could you imagine being like on Facebook during the time of the Crusades? Gonna go get these Muslims out of our country. Sounds familiar.
I bet they didn't even call them Muslims yet.
They were, it was Islamic faith. They were like,
I know it was Islamic faith, but like,
I mean, it was
Muslims is such a, I don't want to say, is it a derogatory term now?
No.
I guess depending on how you use it.
It's like, people like make it sound like Mexican.
It's like niggers. It should be fine. Just kidding.
Well, it's like Mexican. Like, people think it's a offensive term, but it's not. Like, they're from Mexico. They are a Mexican.
Jew is an offensive term according to some people, but I'm like, hold on, you say Christian.
Yeah.
You can say Muslim, but you can't say Jew. Like that, being offended by that is offensive.
But it's like, you're not calling like you're a Jew. It's more like the Jew part is like the one that has the negative connotations with it. If you're like, you're Jewish. Oh, you're Jewish. That's like okay to say, but you can't be like, oh, you're a Jew?
Okay, so by adding the
what
ish
a Jew.
to it.
Because they're not a full-blooded Jew, they're Jewish.
But by adding the ish to it, you're saying, okay, you're not completely that negative thing. You're just sort of, so we're still cool with you.
Yeah.
What if, like, we were like, oh, you're Muslim-ish? I mean...
But that's not what it's called.
Oh, my God. It's offensive to get offended by Jew.
I'm offended by that.
Wait, you're offended that I'm offended by people being offended?
I'm offended by you being offended. Offendception. Fuck.
I had to. Okay.
It's the final solution. That would have been a hit song in the...
So you're against my theory that when more... Cause
I don't... Wait, what is your...
My actual
what's your premise?
Okay, my premise is...
What's your thesis?
There's two factors that make my thesis. Okay? The internet and lack of natural predators
and those two things are why all we do is bitch about shit that doesn't
because we have
us.
Nothing else to worry about.
I think I agree with that, but I still feel like even with internet, like, so back in like the time of the World War, like World War One, World War One, women still couldn't vote. So World War One was a thing. People worried about like getting
oh my
invaded.
God, I see where you're going. This is brilliant.
Women would have been on the internet talking about, oh, all these men can go fight for, like, we're stuck at home while our men fight for their country, but we can't vote for our own leaders. Hashtag women's suffrage.
Hashtag chick lives matter. Man. Okay.
I feel like there still would have been something.
Fuck. That's such a good point.
Like, I mean, Revolutionary War times, black people posting about that they can fight for America's independence, but they can't be free people.
Yeah. God dang it. I seriously think you just like completely shot down what I was thinking, because now I'm like, it's not even those things I was talking about, it's your education level and the well, maybe not even education, but how quickly you can receive news.
Yeah.
Like, if you know that it's becoming like a talked about topic that women can't vote, then
it's going to become a thing.
Because humans have a natural desire to belong to a group.
Well, I feel like there's such a, up until the time of like, I feel like if we would have always, like, let's say in the 1500s or whenever the Renaissance happened, let's say we got internet during the Renaissance, I feel like all these issues that we talked about, like that we talk about now, I feel like they would have got worked out already. We'd have had an extra like 400 or so years to get everybody equal.
Okay, by that token, do you think in 400 years we'll have everyone equal?
Yeah. I think we'll get there.
Okay, the one caveat is I feel like things still change. Like homosexuality throughout history has always been a thing.
Yeah, well, and I mean in ancient times it was more embraced.
Yeah. And then the fucked up thing is, you know, if embracing it more makes it happen less, then maybe we should embrace it more. It's weird to think. I mean, it's an experiment I'm going to do one day. But okay, I don't know, and I don't think I want to know, but I don't know if like transsexual or transvestites or hermaphrodites, I don't know if those go throughout history. You know, now we have transgender bathrooms.
Man, I'm sure it was.
How
I'm
medically could someone have changed their gender 200 years ago?
I don't think that like being able to actually do a sex.
Don't touch your penis while you're explaining
I
it.
didn't touch it. I hovered my hand over it. Like I don't think sex reassignment surgery was a thing, but I think there were still people who, like, they were a man trapped in a woman's body and still felt like that.
But they couldn't get out, and that's what I miss. Just kidding. But no, seriously, like now medically, you could change your gender. And
you can change your outside to match your inside.
What if one day you can change your race, Michael Jackson?
I mean, we already done.
Yeah. Whoever Sammy Sosa. Dude, he looks fucking freaky.
Yeah, he looks like he's wearing a bad Halloween mask.
He used to look kind of like like Diddy Kong, and now he looks more like Count Chocula.
Sammy Sosa looks like he's buying he's wearing a bleached Sammy Sosa mask.
Ew, god damn it, that's gross. But to the original point you were making is you were saying, like, if we would have had internet 400 years ago, maybe we would have hashed out more rights for people now.
Because I think it doesn't become a big enough issue until more people are talking about it. And from like the end of the Civil War to, 1920 when they passed the amendment to let women vote?
I think it was 22, yeah.
Yeah, right around then. So between then, we would have had women complaining on Facebook that they couldn't vote. It would have become like, instead of just, them muttering it to themselves or to the other wives in their neighborhood, it would have been like a widespread issue. And right now the internet gives people these, I feel like the issues that are going on right now are issues that have always been issues, but people now have a platform to get those issues out there.
Okay, but originally you maybe you infrared. Maybe you inferred that if we would have had internet 400 years ago, then by now there would have been,
because there would have been that platform,
gotcha,
like all time.
But my counter to that is, in the next 400 years, and the main basis for this is the growth of technology.
Yeah.
And that's medical technology and actual electric technology. Like, as we get different abilities as a human species,
like bionic eyes.
I think bionic guys would be crazy. I know what you said, but
Call of Duty bionic guys.
But okay, so kind of what I was hinting at. Like, what if you could go to a doctor and in 30 minutes or less come out a different race?
Like, doctor, I don't feel like a white person. I feel like I'm a black person.
No, if you could pick your race, there'd be so many better. I feel like I'm from Uzbekistan. And then they just change it to off yellow.
Doc, I really feel like I'm a Puerto Rican, and then they just change it to eggshell white.
Yeah. And so what if you could change your race in 30 minutes? What kind of things
30 minutes or less, that's what Domino's turns into.
You can get your race changed while you wait for your pizza. No, but would there be things that come of that then people have to fight for their rights for? Like, what if the right to not identify your race when you fill out paperwork? Because
you do have that right. You can say, do not wish to specify.
Yeah, but everyone knows that means black. Everyone knows. Although, I'm always intrigued. It'll be like Hispanic, and then it'll be like non-Hispanic, and then in parentheses, white.
Well, it's so there's Hispanic, and then there's white Hispanic, and then white non-Hispanic. So people who are like Spanish or that are white of skin, but they're like Cuban or Puerto Rican or Honduran. They have a lighter skin color. They're still white, but they're
wait.
Hispanic
Which one do
white.
they check though? They're Hispanic.
White Hispanic.
White.
I check.
So who hits white, not Hispanic?
Me. I hit white non-Hispanic.
Then why don't you just check white?
Because it says white non-Hispanic. There's no just white.
Okay, got it.
There's no just white.
Okay, and then another example of how technology could determine rights and stuff. And this one I think about now. Okay, this is an interesting one with Pokemon Go.
Yeah. And
other augmented reality games that I'm sure are being developed and
we could wear headsets that make everyone the same color.
No. I'm thinking, do you have the right to your geographical location on a GPS for instance, the Holocaust
In
Museum.
Florida, you do, George Zimmerman.
Oh,
Stand your ground.
too soon.
Not soon enough.
Well, his gunshot wasn't soon enough. Sorry. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah.
They're a Pokemon stop, and I don't know if it has already been rectified, but like when Pokemon Go first came out, they did not want to be a Pokemon stop.
Right, because they didn't want people coming into their historic facility that is,
Full of propaganda. Sorry.
of something that allegedly happened.
I'm married to a Jew. It's okay.
We can make these jokes.
Yeah.
I can make these jokes because he's married to a Jew.
And anyone you know can make these jokes because...
Anyone I know, anyone listening to the show can make these jokes because if
you
you get
listen,
offended by shit like this...
Then you're a Jew. Sorry. That was a...
Then I wish you were in the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah, it's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's the 7 degrees of
Jew.
Of making fun of Jews.
The 7 degrees of not eating bacon.
Oh, God damn. Oh! Shut up, guys. God damn it. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, so does the Holocaust Museum have the right...
Yes, because they own the building.
But do they own their spot in a global positioning system?
I think it's kind of the same thing.
Because then does your right...
I mean, does that mean, do you guys have the right to your house then? On a global position?
On a GPS? Fuck no. Google takes pictures of me all the time. I mean, not all the time.
Not
I
of the
made myself sound like my dad.
None of the inside. That we know of.
Yeah, I was like, maybe.
Wait till the drones come.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just weird. And that's probably the most current example I can think of is...
Well, I think what you're talking about, though, is going to be an issue soon because of drones. Because people are going to have... You have to register your drone now, but people are going to be flying these drones all over the place. And people are going to be... they're going to be flying it in places where people who are anti-drone aren't going to want the drones being flown. And it's going to be, do you have the right to put up anti-drone defenses around your property because you don't want
air-to-drone missiles?
Yeah. We got people with surface-to-air missiles to blow up drones that people are just flying for recreation because they don't think people should have drones. So that's going to be...
That's a good one. You saying that made me think, too. I was kind of amplifying my previous
Drone
thought.
lives matter.
All lives matter except black.
Black drones matter.
Black drones matter. Hashtag. No, so with augmented reality and do you own your spot on a GPS, the other thing is, too, I bet let's say when there's 10 high-profile augmented reality games on smartphone markets.
Harry Potter Go, Pokemon Go.
Harry Potter's gonna happen.
Digimon Go, Dragon Ball Z Go, Power Rangers Go.
The only issue with
Skyrim
Digimon Go... No. The only issue with Digimon Go is Digimon changed...
Is that no one watched it?
There was
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Go.
Yogi-Go.
It's not like we're learning to talk. Jesus.
Yu-Gi-Go.
There could be a augmented reality game where you follow around the band that plays the song Slide Goo Goo Go. Alright, I did that to myself. Okay.
Go Goo Goo Dolls.
Let's say
if so I always thought that the Goo Goo Dolls should go on tour with Lady Gaga, be the Goo Goo Gaga tour.
And Goo Goo Gaga Go. We could do this. It might fuck. I'm writing down Goo Goo Gaga Go.
Hashtag Goo Goo Gaga.
Goo Goo Gagas matter.
Hashtag Goo Goos matter.
Okay, but so to what I was saying, so let's say when
you can say hashtag Gagas matter, and now we're talking about breast cancer awareness.
No, that's Tatas.
I've heard them referred to as Gagas.
No, you have not.
No, I have not. But now I have.
Yeah.
Now
we all have.
Now it's a thing, and because it's a thing, now there's porn of it. Rule 34.
That is true. Man, all the things we've created into porn on this podcast in 20 episodes. There's porn backwards now.
Nrop.
Fuck. Okay, when there's... Back to the... when there's 10 augmented reality games on the market, I bet, and this is pure conjecture, I bet they're going to sell, like, there's going to be equivalents of Pokestops. So, like, in Harry Potter Go, there's going to be Hagrid huts or something. and you'll be able to go there to get bigger wands, like veinier and meatier wands with more girth.
Butter beers and polyjuice potions.
And, every birdie bots, every flavor beans.
And Marauders maps.
Man. But anyways, the point I want to get to is eventually I bet you they're going to sell to businesses the ability for that business to be a thing in that game.
They already are planning on doing that with Pokemon Go with McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, like paying to be, like, there being a sponsored location. So, it hasn't rolled out yet, but it's something that's like in the code. Like, people have, like, data mined the whole game to, like, see what's all in the code. And McDonald's was referenced a bunch in the code, so there's going to be something to do with McDonald's related to Pokemon Go where you can go there, probably get, like, special event Pokemon or special items for going to McDonald's.
McDonald's wants to die. Like, Pokemon Go has lost, like, 12 million.
If they would fix the fucking tracking feature, those 12 million people per day would come back.
Well, I have a side theory about that, too. But, originally, my whole thing was, does anything have a right to its place on a GPS?
That was a good fart.
Jesus. Does any place have the right to their GPS location? And now it's already becoming a thing where places want the right to their GPS location. Weird, right?
But your GPS is your physical location. Like, your GPS location and your physical location are the same location.
No.
Yeah.
How?
This house has a GPS location. It's got a latitude and longitude in accordance to the GPS.
But you don't have rights to your location.
You bought this location, like you bought this house,
and the land that sits on it.
And the land that sits on it. And the land that it sits on. So you have a right to this location.
Yeah, I ended that in a preposition. Yeah. Okay, so blow up the house.
On the land in which it sits.
Blow up the house and drill a hole through the earth where my house once stood, and I'm going to go completely through to the other side, okay? So there's a giant hole, and nothing exists there. Do I own anything? No.
I think you own everything to the half of the earth that it sits on, because someone owns the other half.
There's no way.
It's just like if you have a house back to back with another house, and there's a length, like there's a length of like yardage between your guys' houses, but it's like it's not fenced off or anything. It's just one section that's shared between two houses. You guys each have rights to half of that.
Okay, but that's a physical thing, whereas a GPS is invisible. It's not tangible.
But, so your GPS location is here, and as long as you're going straight down, it's going to share the same GPS location. Whereas if you're going from the other side of the planet, that has a different GPS location. It's going to have the opposite GPS location. So until it gets halfway down, they're going to own the right to that half.
I'm trying to illustrate my point in a way that is stupid but makes sense. Okay, so let's pretend...
Doing a great job.
Let's pretend there's an infinite amount of suns, each projecting a different color on one precise GPS location.
Okay.
So, for some reason, my sun is like chartreuse. It's like kind of yellowish, greenish.
My son is periwinkle.
What? Is that pink?
That's like a blue color.
It just sounds like it should be pink.
Pinkwinkle.
Okay, mine's Granny Smith apple. Because that's in the 64 box of crayons next to mac and cheese. And you can sharpen it in the back if you need to. But anyways, so I bought a house. The house sits on land. And you're saying I own the GPS location.
Yes.
Okay. Do I own the periwinkle sunlight chartreuse sunlight that beams down onto my house?
You own, so
I don't own anything that creates
If you had solar panels on the roof of your house, you would own the energy from that sun.
Fuck. This is a really tough
Shut
topic.
up about the sun!
God dang it.
I feel good today. I have an answer for everything.
Yeah, no, and I don't feel like I have a resolution there. Like I don't feel like you changed my mind. I don't.
But
feel
it could be an issue though.
Yeah.
Like,
but okay,
you don't
so
own
go
that.
back.
You don't own the air above your house.
Right. But then,
So
hold on.
Somebody just builds a air house like above you, like a house made of helium, and just sits it right above your house.
You're never gonna touch me. I sat there.
The greased up deaf guy lives above you.
Here's how fucked up my brain works.
All the candy.
You came up with like the easiest fucking example, and I'm like creating an infinite number of suns and an infinite number of hues.
I'm gonna tell you why that is, Josh. It's because I'm simple.
And I did a lot of drugs in high school. So we have 3 more topics.
I did a lot of drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
R.I.P. Mitch. I knew it. Okay, so let's. God dang it, dude! This might be like an hour, 20-minute podcast. Is that cool? Do we have time?
I feel like we should ask our listeners if that's too long.
None of them said no. Okay, let's do one more.
We're gonna talk about white knights.
Let's do the white knights.
All right.
You go.
Well, we're not going to do the white knights because no one wants to do the white knights. That's why they're white knighting.
Wait, no. Sometimes white knights get done. Wait, explain what a white knight is.
A white knight is a overweight gentleman with a neck beard who runs to the help of a damsel in distress, even though she probably doesn't need his help. So this is the fat guy wearing fat, ugly, like bearded guy wearing a fedora. Who goes?
He does typically have a fedora.
He goes up and like he sees like a hot guy going and like hitting on a woman, and she's like not responding to his advances. This guy would then walk up and ask if the other guy is bothering her, like as if saving her, and then as if saving her is going to put him in her good enough graces to allow him to have access to her genitalia.
Okay, because the key is.
They think these actions are going to lead to them getting with the girl.
It's not even think. They're doing it for that reason.
Yeah.
So it's a guy.
So they think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's a guy who is nice, overtly nice towards women, but and willing to defend women's rights and all that shit.
But too nice.
Yes.
But he's
with the sole motivation.
So he's nice, but he's nice for the wrong reason.
Yes.
He's nice because he wants some sort of recognition because of it.
And my least favorite
and that recognition is pussy.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
My least favorite type, so the example you gave was kind of like...
That's why I do it.
The example you gave was kind of like in person, and I don't want to say confrontational, but I would respect that white knight a little bit. But the white knights on social media drive me up a fucking wall.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's where they're worse, because that's where they can say whatever they want and not get their dicks kicked in. Well, not have to worry about getting.
But you're doing confrontational again. So
they're a lot more confrontational on the internet than they would be in real life.
Pretend that there's.
That's why I do
it. Like, I feel like sometimes I lurk on Facebook, and I just like recently a female friend of mine on Facebook posted about she read 1984. Which is like a classic book or something, and she's like,
"That's Orwell."
Orwell, yes. And she in the post she talked about, I don't know. She started reading her goal is to read the 100 books you should read before you die, and like she's attractive, and so that's a weird thing. And another guy gets on there who I know to be like a classic white knight. And he's like, oh, man, that book is so good. I love the ending. And then this other book, which I hope is on the list, yada, 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 and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's not why you commented.
Right.
Like,
that's not the
we
reason at
see
all.
through that, and we know better. But, again, it's being over-the-top nice. And the only reason I'm bringing up White Knight is because
That's what they're called. That's what it's called. It's white knighting.
Right. It blows my mind, though, how many people aren't aware of a white knight. I feel like we should build white knight awareness for women, and
white knights matter.
What if you and I, for like the next month, anytime we see a white knight on social media, post we'll find like a link to a webpage that breaks down who white knights are, what they do, and like all that stuff. Because
Right.
I mean, I didn't come up with the white knight theory.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Right, yeah, it was already like happening for a while.
What if we just comment with the white knight stuff every time we see a guy being a white knight?
Like comment, like calling them out on being a white knight?
Just, if you see a white knight comment, then on the next comment down, post a link to a page about white knights. And just leave it at that. And if
So troll the white knights.
yeah, because every white knight knows they're a white knight.
No. They will never admit that they're a white knight. They don't think that they're white knighting. They think that they're legitimately coming to the aid of these damsels in distress.
No, they fucking know.
I mean, deep down somewhere between the layers of Doritos and Mountain Dew, they know, but
Like,
they don't know.
no, I think they know. In the situation I gave with the girl that read the book,
Yeah.
like, if she posts about reading and then he posts his thoughts about the books and then her next comment was, my vagina's full of cement, he'd be like, reading is gay. Like, he just completely withdrawal because he knows that's what he's there for.
Yeah.
And why does it bother me, though? I always wonder that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's because it's stupid. Stupid things bother me. That's why I don't like it.
I feel like if I had a natural predator...
People being stupid bothers me. Like, because there's no end game to it. Like, there's no ultimate goal. It's just... Like, did you ever see the video of that guy who he made, like, a 3-minute video, posted it to YouTube of him reminding these two women that they left their eggs on top of their car.
No.
Like, fedora, fat guy, everything, made this long, like, super cringy video of...
Wait, was it him actually telling them, or was it him talking about...
Because after it happened, like, he
Oh
made a
my
video,
God.
he made a video of him talking to them, just, like, trying to get so much, like, praise for reminding them about the eggs that they left on their car, as if this was some, like, great deed worthy of...
And the fact that you saw it makes me think it at least went viral, and then that's embarrassing.
I think it was on Tosh.
Oh, god dang it. So it is viral.
Yeah.
Do you know what happens if a white knight becomes too much of a white knight? They turn gay.
Is that what you think happens?
I used to get gay guys mixed up with white knights all the time.
Well, white knights, they get too white knighty and then they start jousting.
That's awesome. You could have done anything. Sword fight, polishing other guys' armor. I'm just reaching.
Polishing their swords.
Yeah. But like even in high school, it was almost infamous. My last year of high school, which is sophomore year, I dropped out. JK. There was like this guy. I'm gonna call him Daniel Dather, but we know. And like to this, he would always sit at lunch at a table. They all sat 8. It'd be him and like 7 women that ranged in attractiveness between like 6.8 and like 8.1. Like nothing crazy. But Daniel Dather was no looker.
But still out of his league.
Yes, and at first I was cool with it because I'm like, oh, he's gay. Like that's
right. It's in his name.
Yeah, I'm like, he can't get married yet. Let's let him have this lunch. I was in high school a while ago. But like to this day, he still like identifies as straight. And so now I'm like, was he white knighting that good?
Probably.
I mean,
honestly, because I've seen it happen a lot. They probably let them sit with them so he wouldn't come in and shoot up the school.
So really, they're the white knights.
He's probably the kid that was threatening to shoot up Plainfield High School.
Oh God, what was that guy's name? Brian Kill. Brian Kill. So, God, none of our listeners are going to be familiar with the story.
Some of them will be.
Yeah, that's true. So the town of Plainfield, and we'll make this quick.
Plainfield, Indiana.
Yeah, we got to end this in like between 5 and 10 minutes. So the town of Plainfield, Indiana had like a running bomb / gun threat against the high school.
For like a month.
No, more than that. It started in the beginning of winter, and then like Black Friday shopping is talking about shooting up the mall and all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
But he was posting on Facebook about this girl, and I can't fucking remember her name.
It was Macy.
Was it Macy?
Yeah.
Okay, so some girl named Macy that did something, and he was like, I'm going to shoot everyone in that school unless Macy apologizes and has her cunt mother apologize to me and all this stuff. And it made you think something messed up happened.
Yeah.
But what was even crazier is the police and the FBI could not find him.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out who he is. They arrested the same kid twice and let him go twice because it's not him twice. And it was this huge debacle, and then it, like, kind of, we just hit on it, but like eventually it wasn't even the school anymore. He's like, if you're shopping at the mall tonight, you better hug your loved ones goodbye and tell them. And I mean, it was fucking crazy. But do you know how that supposedly ended? Wait, did I say supposedly?
The house got raided. They arrested people. They arrested like
it wasn't them.
Oh,
every arrest that's been made wasn't them.
Well, the dude made some big long post saying that, I never was actually going to shoot up anything. I was
on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's some guy, and I believe this only because as soon as he posted this on Tumblr, it was done.
Yeah.
Some guy who says he lives in New Jersey said he picked a random town and like hacked Macy's. I feel like it wasn't Macy, but maybe it was.
It was Macy.
Maybe. But he hacked her iCloud account and got like enough pictures of her to be convincing that he did know her.
Yeah.
And then it was
enough for it to be incriminating.
Yeah.
He kept threatening to release like inappropriate pictures of her because she was underage, so they would have definitely been inappropriate.
Jared Fogle would have loved it.
No, she was too old for Jared.
And actually, if I can find the Tumblr post, I'll put it on our website because it was so interesting. If this is legit, that guy might.
That was an incredible social experiment.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was eating at a Red Robin across the street from the mall when that post came out. They was going to shoot at the mall, and I'm like, can I get a to-go box? Like,
I gotta get over to the mall real quick.
Oh man,
I have a promise to carry out.
Yeah, that was so cool last year.
Every time some posts like happen about that, people would like freak out. Like people who lived in that area were like freaking out. And I was sitting there. I felt like SpongeBob when Squidward's telling the story about the hash-slinging slasher, and I'm just munching on my own hands.
What do you think his clout score was for those 2 months?
Like 12.
No, he got so many likes and so many shares.
But it was only on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. You get more clout points from Twitter.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitter, I think we eclipsed 4,700 followers.
I think we did too. Yeah. Feels good. We're almost at 5K.
Yeah. I think we'll hit it this weekend.
We probably will. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been hammering hard. That's what she said. Okay.
We've had a pretty good run of hashtag games too. Excuse me. Man, it's coming out both ends today. Burps and farts.
Yeah, you're having a good day.
Burps and shits.
Burps and shits and burps and shits and burps and shits.
Boots and pants. And
I just like watching the sound waves of me doing that. Whoa.
Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and.
Are we done?
Yeah, I think that, so check out the website, Jake and Josh Podcast.
Jake and Josh Podcast. Because we also have Jake and Josh Podcast at gmail.com.
Jackass stole our
name. There was like a different Jake and Josh that started a podcast for like one episode one time.
Yeah.
And fucking killed our podcast game.
Yeah, they stole our fucking Gmail.
They hit us in the Gmail spot.
Those fucking white knights.
Probably. But yeah, thank you for listening. I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
I feel like it had a lot of meat.
And I feel like you will too once you hear it.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks. This is us signing off.
2 weeks from now.
Bye.
Love you.